Hello everybody and welcome to Gene's Reviews from a regular dude, where I do trailer reactions, I react to YouTube videos, I review YouTube channels, occasionally I'll review a movie, but really, I just do whatever the hell I want. Hello everybody and welcome to Gene's Reviews from a regular dude down in the basement. Today we're going to check one out from Most Amazing Top 10. This is the top 10 mysterious dreams that successfully predicted the future. I very rarely remember my dreams anymore. I don't know why. Every once in a while I remember them, and if I do remember them, they make no sense whatsoever. So I know they say that you dream all the time when you're sleeping, but it's very rare that I ever remember them. Like I said though, when I do, they're really off the wall. I fall asleep a lot of times though with the TV on, so I'm kind of thinking that it might be something that was on the TV or something. I don't know. But let's check this out. These are mysterious dreams that successfully predicted the future.
Imagine waking up from a nightmare being like, it was only a dream, I don't have to worry, only for the dream to eventually come true. This is what we call precognitive dreaming, where you dream of something that shortly becomes a reality. And a number of people have actually experienced this.
I don't think I have.
From dreams about people dying to dreams about tragedy. Let's talk about this and more only in today's video. Starting off this countdown, we have the husband in danger. Now, this one breaks my heart. It's a sign to always trust your gut instincts. So several years ago, this woman had a dream in which her husband was in danger. When she woke up, she knew something was wrong and that something was going to happen to him. So she begged him not to go to work in the morning. But her husband wasn't one to call in sick, so he went to work. An hour later, he was killed in an accident, which could have been prevented if he listened to his wife. In our 9th spot today, we have the black dog.
Do you think there's anything behind that, or do you think it's just coincidence? Or what? I mean, I do try to follow my gut instinct as much as possible. Like, I've had a feeling before, like walking down the street at night when I just didn't feel quite right, so my senses were heightened. But I don't know, nothing ever happened.
Several years ago, when this next individual was 12, they woke up from a weird dream-like vision. In the dream, they saw a black dog collapsing in the distance. Now, they didn't think much of it. I mean, it's just a dream, right? So they went to school. That evening, he came home to his mom being very upset. Turns out that their granddad's dog Daisy had passed away. Daisy was a black dog and had collapsed while out for a walk. AKA, the dog he saw dying in his dream was Daisy. Coming in at number 8, we have Rose. This next individual had a very strange dream about a woman she used to work with called Rose. Now, they weren't close at all, they were just work acquaintances, and they only casually talked. And she hardly knew anything about her personal life, so it was quite weird for her to be suddenly dreaming about her. In the dream, she was talking to Rose, and Rose was crying her eyes out. She was saying that all she wanted in life was children, and how she couldn't have them. Now, this woman woke up being like, ha, that's a weird dream, and thought nothing of it. The next morning, she saw Rose crying at lunch. Turns out she had just discovered that she wasn't ever going to be able to have kids. Like, how on earth did this woman predict that that was going to happen to her? It totally blows my mind. In our 7th spot today,
some of these people, they must just be able to, like, see into the future or something. I don't know. I wouldn't want that gift, if you can call it a gift.
Today we have the cancer. Turns out that a number of breast cancer patients have had dreams about developing cancer before actually being diagnosed with it. In a study from 2015, 18...
Okay, now in that case, it could save your life though. Let's go back just a little bit. I don't want you to miss it, but I just had to interject there.
Patients have had dreams about developing cancer before actually being diagnosed with it. In a study from 2015, 18 women with breast cancer were interviewed, and more than half of them had warning dreams, and many of these women had no family or personal history of the disease. In 94% of the cases, these dreams were a warning sign to these women that they had cancer. Let's take Susan DeGregorio for example. In 2013, she started having dreams where someone would be like, "It's your time to get cancer." After these became recurring, she fought to get an extensive test done on her breasts. In between appointments, she had a dream of a woman with short curly hair in a lab coat telling her that she had stage 3 breast cancer. Soon, that dream came true. When she got her diagnosis, it was given to her by a woman in a white lab coat with short curly hair. Her dreams were right. She did have breast cancer. In our 6th spot today, we have the landslide. In 1966, a terrible landslide from a coal mine slid into the village of Aberfan, UK. Sadly, a school was destroyed by the landslide and 144 students and teachers inside lost their lives. Days before the incident, a young girl named Errol Mae Jones had a nightmare about this occurring. She said that in the dream, a black substance wiped out her school and killed her. A couple days later, she told her mom that she was not afraid to die because she was going to be with her school friends Peter and June. A couple days later, the landslide occurred. Errol sadly lost her life alongside Peter and June. Sadly, this girl predicted her end. We're now at our 5th and halfway mark.
There's too many of these for it to be coincidence. And these are supposed to be true. So, I don't know. To me, there's just too many for it to just be a coincidence.
Alongside Peter and June. Sadly, this girl predicted her end. We're now at our 5th and halfway mark with Robert Kennedy's assassination. In March of 1968, a woman named Kathleen Middleton had a dream that Kennedy was going to be assassinated. For months, she had reoccurring dreams of this happening. On June 4th, 1968, she called the Premonitions Bureau a number of times. She kept reporting her concerns about Kennedy. She knew that he was going to die soon. But obviously, they did nothing about it. A day later, he was shot and killed. Had they listened to her, maybe his fate would have been different.
Sirhan
In our 4th spot today, we had the earthquake.
Him,
According to Reddit user Kosher the Writer, they always get dreams about earthquakes before they even happen. They live in California, so they tend to have a lot of earthquakes. And every time they dream about one occurring, a few minutes later, they will actually occur. They think that they are sensitive to the energies around them, and maybe that's how they can detect upcoming earthquakes. Or they're psychic, who knows? But it's pretty weird. Someone should hire him as the weatherman or something.
Yeah.
In our 3rd spot today, we have the tornado. When this individual was only 13, him and his neighbor both had dreams of a tornado whipping through their town. As a result, the neighbor actually cut down the trees behind his house, because in his dream, the trees had fallen onto his house and destroyed it. The other guy had a dream that he was looking down on his town from space and he saw this massive tornado ripping through it. Not too long later, their dreams came true. He was outside when the wind began to turn. They rushed inside their home and a huge tornado came ripping through their town. Their street was badly destroyed as a result. This was said to be the 2nd deadliest tornado outbreak in US history.
Wow, that's massive.
This is another guy that should work for the news station. In our 2nd spot today, we have the flight home. Due to this dad's intuition, he literally saved his life and his family's.
I think I heard about this.
So while on vacation, the night before his family's flight home, he had a dream that he was in a horrific plane crash. In the dream, the crash had something to do with the nose of the plane. The next morning, he convinced his wife to postpone the flight to a later time. Now, she was angry that they did this for a dream, but it's a good thing that they did. That morning, the plane that they were supposed to be on got in a terrible crash. Something was wrong with the nose of the plane and it caused them to crash upon takeoff. And in our number 1 spot today...
Okay, that, there was a movie about that. I can't remember the name of it. It had Ben Affleck and Gwyneth Paltrow. And, I think it was Gwyneth Paltrow's husband was supposed to get on an airplane, but he decided not to and gave his, or what was it? Ben Affleck was supposed to get on an airplane and gave his ticket to Gwyneth Paltrow's husband, decided not to go. And the plane crashed and her husband died. And so he felt guilt over it. And then he ends up meeting Gwyneth Paltrow and falling in love with her. And then she finds out what had happened and everything. And pretty crazy movie.
Today we have the Space Shuttle Columbia disaster. On February 1st of 2003, upon re-entering Earth's atmosphere, the Space Shuttle Columbia started to disintegrate. Sadly, all 7 crew members on board lost their lives. That day, Reddit user OESJMR was taking a nap when he had a dream he was standing in a field looking up at the sky. That's when he saw a fireball fall from the sky and pieces were breaking off. That's when he heard a man's voice say, "Do not touch any pieces of the spacecraft that may crash to Earth due to potential radiation contamination." That's when he woke up. The next morning he turned on the radio and heard the same man's voice from his dream. Instantly, he was scared, so he turned on the TV to find out what the man was talking about. And that's when he saw that the Space Shuttle Columbia had disintegrated during re-entry, just like what he saw in his dream. Alright guys, that's all for today's video. Let me know.
I find dreams and stuff like that really, really interesting. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. I think there's too many of those for it to be a coincidence. There has to be something behind it. You know, the other day I had a dream that the whole ocean was filled with orange soda. Turns out it was just a fantasy. Thank you, everybody. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hashtag Mean Gene, all that fun stuff. And if you like this video, tell all your friends, leave a comment down below. And if you didn't like it, then just shut up. And I will see you next time.